gentlemen, welcome back to North Sports Dynasty, Season 3, Episode 2 of the new season. With me, your host, one of the hosts, Andrew Colbert, and my co-host to my right on the screen. I'll still figure this out as I go. Mr. Alex Loosemore, how you doing today, brother?
Not too bad. Excited for March Madness to come back up. UFC tonight. Lots going on.
Yes. Lots of sports. I'm so happy we can actually have sports. And there's fans in the stands, which is actually a beautiful thing to see now. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know us. You can find us across all social media platforms at Andrew_Faubert for myself, Loosemore65 for Mr. Alex Loosemore over there. The show's Twitter is also N Sports Dynasty. Follow all of those. We post on there all the time. Check us out on Facebook, North Sports Dynasty. Like us, follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. That is where we are live here today. I am just making sure. Are we all good across? We're good everywhere, aren't we? Let me just share this to me. Boom. All right. So, you know what today is? It's mock draft day! Me and Alex did some mock drafts, and he's frozen again already! What? This is hilarious. But we are going to be able to have this in the little 2-minute clip, which we did do, ladies and gentlemen. And you can be able to see the little clips that we do at the end of the shows.
We're off to a great start.
I know, right? That's awesome. Hey, if it happens once or twice, it's totally okay. If it keeps happening, I'm going to be very upset. I'd be like, what happened to my co-host? But we do these 2-minute videos, ladies and gentlemen. The videos is basically this whole show condensed into one 2-minute and 20-second clip, I guess you would say, or video recap, because it fits on Twitter. And that seems to be the most appropriate platform to put it. If I wanted to put it on Facebook, I'd make it probably make it 4 minutes. But it was really hard to make. And it's going to take up a lot of my time tonight and forever. But at the same time, too, the faster I get, the better I get. That means all that stuff, I'll get there, ladies and gentlemen. Today's mock drafts. We're getting into the mock drafts. But before we get into the mock drafts, we got a couple other things that we want to talk about because this is all around sports show.
Yes.
We talk about all of the sports. So today we're going to bring up the free agencies and we're going to touch up about those. We're going to have a quick little Tim Peel talk because that guy fucked up.
Yeah, he really did.
The Bristol races got dirt.
Well, if it goes.
What do you mean, Alex? What do you mean if it goes?
Well, see, for it to be a dirt race, it needs to not rain.
But it no. No. Why? They're the one NASCAR race besides obviously Talladegas and Daytonas. I do love my Martinsville races and Sears Point. I'll still forever call it Sears Point. just like the guy from Pat McAfee show, I think it was Zito, was like, I'll always call it Sears Tower. It ain't nothing else. Yeah, that's me. Okay. You were gonna put dirt all over Bristol, which
is a disaster of a course as it is.
I don't understand. It's so upsetting. It's not. I'm not going to be happy if there's no dirt on my. Okay. I would have actually paid to go see this one if borders were open. This would have definitely have been one that I would have tried to attend. This is bullshit. You know what? We're going to start this. Where's my marker? Where's the marker? Let's start it right now. All the events I would have attended had the borders been open. Number 1, Super Bowl.
Yeah, fair.
I actually, last night and this morning was having to talk about like the Bristol race. But last night, me and the old lady, but she's not old, she's younger than me. She's tinier than I am. We were talking about, had the borders been open and had they let me, would I really have paid that money to go to the Super Bowl? The answer is yes. I would have put myself in a financial hole. I wouldn't have cared. Especially seeing the outcome now. And and being able to actually show up to a troll to his face. Because I know there was one guy from an old show that kind of was an inspiration for these kind of shows. Shout out to Kevin Boylard, Mike DeCipio, Aaron Grisham, and all those guys at 24/7 Sports. You guys do a fantastic job. They kind of inspired me, and I totally lost my train of thought there for a second because I was looking at the screen. I am such a big stoner at this too. What was I just talking about, Alex?
You're talking about 24/7 Sports and the whole Super Bowl thing.
Thank you.
Going to Super Bowl.
I would have slept on a beach, guys. I would have slept on a beach. I would have paid $800 round trip, which would have only given me 3 days in Tampa, which would have made me postpone my trip back because then there would have been the parade, which I would have not missed that. No way. No. The day I actually go to spend the money on it, Mr. French Prime Minister, everyone in Canada, if you decide to leave, you will have to pay $2,000 and stay in a hotel. Like, I'll never forgive. But that's neither here or there. I'm tired of complaining about it. But I just want to go to events, dude. Like,
I feel that.
Like, can we not just go watch the Oilers?
Right? Like, just something. Go watch something.
I don't care. I got so much money on bets right now, too. And it's just, I would like to actually go see some of these games. And it's such a piss off. Okay, this Tim Peel thing, since we're kind of talking about just sports in general, man, he got caught on a hot mic.
That's, you gotta watch what you say no matter what, especially when you're on a broadcast like that. Like, you never know when you're gonna get caught saying something stupid.
Not only that, it was our Red Wings. Like, why of all games?
Why did you need to call a penalty on the Predators? You're not gonna help the Red Wings win. I'm sorry, but
stop that. Stop it. Even the NHL is just like, hey, you guys, we're only gonna allow 2 of your teams to have a chance to double. It's like, what are you doing? What? So, like, looking at the updated standings, like, Buffalo is just like, I do not understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Can you explain? Do you understand what's happening? There's a lot of talent.
Yeah, you got Eichel, you got Hall, you got on the back end Ristolainen and Dahlin. Like, you're loaded, and you can't win a game to save your life. Like, I have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah, and please, like, I understand that we're supposed to have fairness, but if we were supposed to have this epic fairness that, everyone preaches about in the NHL, I actually kind of do agree with some of these Leaf fans and Oiler fans where, Marner and Matthews would probably get more calls on them, and so would McDavid and Draisaitl. So games would kind of be a little bit outbalanced. I get that. I really do. I really, really do. But we need respectable fairness. First of all. And the flow of the game. Now, there is a person, we can't talk about where we work, but there is a person that we work with, and he's technically our boss. And me and him were having a great talk. And he's a referee. He's played hockey his whole entire life. And he's more on the side of, I don't understand why they fired him. I was like, this is cancel culture, first of all.
I mean, well, to be real, they didn't really fire him. He's done at the end of the year anyways. He's retiring. He was only going to ref like another 5-10 games. So they were just like, you can just go a little early. They're not really firing him. They're still going to pay him his pension, all that. Like, he's not fired. He's just pushed to retirement.
They were very careful with their wordings. That is for sure.
Yes, very much so.
And At the beginning of this, I was like, you know what? I agree. Get him the heck out of there. I don't care nor even want to even try to understand why this, that, and everything else. But the more I've read into it, I've kind of come around a little bit, but it's still now you had, I think it was last night or the night before, you had a game where I think it was Ottawa or even Buffalo. I can't remember. I shouldn't actually wrote that down to remember, but there was a referee that was just holding his mic, so you can't hear what he's saying to the player. And I'm like, guys,
that's a little risky.
You're starting to lose me. I want to start watching these games a little bit more. Like, I'm scrolling around today and I'm like, hey, what games did I bet on today? Dude, this one and this one. Which at the bottom, obviously, you can see our 5 bets for today, which Norse bets, Dynasty bets are basically mine. Alex will start doing them soon. Don't worry. But
I just got to get into the game, learn it a little more before I start telling people what to pick.
Exactly. And I've been doing this for a long time, ladies and gentlemen, and I just needed to understand the lines a little bit more. And people were like, listen, you don't have to just keep making 50-50 bets for there. You can make an extra couple of bucks on the side. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Can somebody please teach me? And now I know. And I just made $170 last night. Thank you very much. So there's that. I get it. I understand. It sucks for the outlook of the NHL. But the one thing I'm going to say about it is I do think with this whole, say, the cancel culture and all that kind of crap, whether it exists or not, blah, 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 blah. I think and this is going to sound so bad, but the NHL doesn't have enough money to stand their ground and try to defend the referees at this point. Like, if there was a big uproar on social media that was calling for the heads of the referees, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want them all fired. I want his pension taken. No Hall of Fames, no nothing. Not to say that you would be right in saying that, but that's kind of where a lot of this stuff has gone. And we're not going to touch base on whether it's right or wrong. That's not what this show basically is.
No.
But what we do know is that the NHL is in financial troubles because until this whole NBC deal and, they get on ESPN and this, that, and everything else, and they start getting the old commercials back, they're in trouble. And they're still going to be in trouble for a couple of years because of this pandemic and not having me pay $300 to go watch the Oilers play the Minnesota Wild on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
But that still, they basically told the rest, he's gone. And whether we like it or not, he's got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah.
And whether you guys like it or not, we're going to have to figure out a way to figure this out and work together, because if we don't, more of you referees are going to be gone. And that's going to suck. Because if we lose Smacauley, oh man, that's when you start crossing the line with me. You start Smacauley have to call a penalty. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Nope. Don't give a fuck. Sorry. No, we'll never care on that. By the way, a quick little thing. Everyone knows that we are Red Wing fans.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the anniversary of the rising of a dynasty out of the ashes and laid rest, essentially, to another, in my opinion. The very reason and the very day I became a Red Wings fan in 1997, the day Claude Lemieux got his ass handed to him for even trying, a man who had the same type of beard as me in Chris Strickland. Red Wings don't forget. Thank you very much. I have found us a site. And they always have the auctions on it because he signs a lot of them, and I don't even care. There's these pictures of Darren McCarty, Claude in the turtle, and he's going like this, and it's the
that's awesome.
So you see Patrick Waugh coming at him, and I'm gonna lose it. The guy who went at Patrick, like everyone kind of, at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's signed by him. I was like, oh yeah, me and Alex are getting those. We'll
That would
those
be
bitches.
dope. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the anniversary of that. So because we are Red Wing fans, we pay homage to one of the greatest highlights of all time. I mean, I was like 5 or 6. So you were.
I wasn't even born.
You said
that was a year from being born.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So your mom and dad. They're Red Wing fans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, your mom and dad were probably like right excited. My mom just picked me up, put me on her lap, and was just like, "Just watch. I know I don't allow you to watch fighting on TV. You just need to watch this.
Yeah.
This is awesome. You're gonna remember this." And now I'm talking about it, Mom, on a show.
Yeah. Oh, I know my dad always used to show me fights. That one was in there. All the Probert fights, him and Domi, and
man, when I started looking just at the history of the Red Wings, because up here in Canada, I know a lot of Americans are like, you guys sound like you guys didn't really get exposed. Alex maybe got a little bit more exposed because he kind of grew up in the Detroit area, so he kind of got that firsthand experience. I grew up on the other side of those Great Lakes, and it was just like, hey, I'm getting Maple Leafs and Senators and Canadians shoved down my throat, and they're like, you gotta cheer for these guys. I was like, no,
yeah,
you guys know that there's a team really close to us that literally has the same colors as our flag, right? Like,
and actually win something.
And thank you. Like, I'm not waiting, Maple Leaf fans. I'm not okay. I'm gonna. Maple Leaf fans, I'll say it live, and I think I've said it before, but I'll say it live, okay? When or if the day comes that the Maple Leafs actually make a cup run, all right? I'm gonna turn my Facebook off because I'm not gonna deal with it. But if you guys win the cup, I am gonna pay you guys respects. I'll probably cry a little bit, but if for my province, because that's just how it is. Just like every Albertan here would cry if the Oilers won the cup, not necessarily if Calgary did, but.
Yeah.
Up here it'd be more so that I would kind of just be happy a Canadian team to win the cup in general.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting sick and tired of all of our Canadians helping American franchises. Like 23 Canadians on your damn teams every year. Like, give me some back.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So NBA trade deadline also happened. There were some pretty interesting movements.
Quite a few.
My Thunder got more picks.
17 first-round picks and 17 second-round picks over the next, 5 years, is it?
I don't even know. That's just so many picks.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's really a lot.
Shout out to haven't even seen any of the comments. We'll get to some of the comments here in a few. We just want to get some of these trade deadline stuff out of the way. But shout out to Jared last week who called me out on the Raptors hat. So I decided this week we'll just change it up all the time.
Oh, I like that one.
I put on the Grizzlies. I like my Grizz.
I love those uniforms.
Oh,
the old Grizzlies uniforms are so nice.
They are so nice. I can't wear it this way.
Yeah.
Hitting the mic like that. But yeah, no, I have told Kim, like, I may be a Thunder fan, and then obviously Raptors right after that. But if you're talking about the greatest jerseys, and some way I'll come up with a bracket to have like
that'd
an
be cool.
West. Yeah, East.
Each team's like best jerseys, and then do the whole bracket.
East would be the NHL's best jerseys of all times, and the West would be the NBA's best jerseys of all time. And then you you could just do two individual. We're gonna come up. We're gonna spitball more.
You could do one for each league, and then have the winners kind of go off against each other, something like that.
And then Final Four.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So NBA trade deadline. Give me some of these trades that happened, because I know besides my Thunder getting a bunch of picks, obviously, that's all I cared about. So some of these other ones there, Alex, please, and thank you.
Well, we'll start off with Orlando pretty much tearing their whole damn team apart. So first off, they sent center Nikola Vucevic and forward Al-Farouq Aminu to the Bulls for forward Otto Porter Jr., center Wendell Carter Jr., and 2 first-round picks, which, in my opinion, that's a really good trade for both sides. Orlando's starting their rebuild. Porter's kind of in his prime right now. He's a good depth shooter. Wendell Carter Jr., him and Mo Bamba, 2 really good young centers to build off of. 2 first-round picks never hurt. The Magic then turned and sent their star forward, Aaron Gordon, and depth piece Gary Clark to the Nuggets for Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first-rounder.
Yeah.
So, again, more good young pieces. Harris would be a good leader for that guard group. RJ, first-round pick this past year. Needs a little development, but he's going to be really good in a few years. And again, stocking up on picks. Miami gets Victor Oladipo from Houston, sending Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk, and a draft swap, which for me, Miami robbed Houston on this one.
Yeah.
Oladipo's a really good player. And if you're Houston, why did you even bother trading for Oladipo?
Why did you even bother trading Harden for that package then?
Well, see, that one, Harden needed to go.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, you had Karis LeVert, who's a good guard just entering his prime.
That is true. Yeah.
And you sent him for Oladipo. And I mean, at the time, he was having like cancer treatment, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now he's balling in Indiana. He's playing awesome.
Yeah.
So you see that, and then you give up Oladipo for 2 veterans and a draft swap next year or the year after. Like, it's like, what are you even doing?
Yeah,
like,
that would make sense then why my parlay got right screwed last night. Thanks.
Yeah. Portland gets Norman Powell from the Raptors for Gary Trent Jr. and Ronnie Hood. I actually like that trade for both sides.
Yep.
Norman Powell gives them that third kind of like combo guard after Lillard and McCollum. And then I've liked Ronnie Hood for a long time, ever since he was back in Utah. Like, he's a good small forward, whether you start him or take him off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good scorer. Gary Trent Jr. is a good developing player too, like a really good developing guard. Clippers got Rondo for Lou Williams and 2 second-rounders. To me, it doesn't really make sense for either side. Like, Atlanta getting Lou Williams, they don't really need him. Clippers needed a point guard, but Rondo hasn't been playing good this year. He's been pretty bad. I mean, you want the playoff leadership, but I don't know. I would have stayed with Lou Williams.
They may have wanted to just keep all their picks that they can keep in-house and not have to trade for anything too crazy. So that might have been just
fair.
Yeah.
I'll go through 2 more here.
Yeah.
A really underrated one, if you ask me. Denver gets a backup center. They trade for JaVale McGee from the Cavaliers for center Isaiah Hartenstein and 2 future protected second-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
That helps Denver a lot. To have somebody like that, you can either play him at the power forward and play more of a big ball with Nikola Jokic, especially because Jokic is basically a point guard at center. He can handle the ball. He can shoot from outside. He's a really good passer. Or he can be that center off the bench. Gives him that lob threat, really good rim protector. Like, I love this trade for Denver. They're making some moves, especially with LeBron and Anthony Davis down. This could push them to the top of the West. Like, they could win the West this year.
Yep. And, like I was telling you just before we went live there, Denver, so it would be 3 out of 4 games that I've live bet them.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter when they've been down, man, there's a spark under their butts, man. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah. And I won a lot of money last night. Thank you very much, Denver Nugget fans. And if I keep winning more money this year I'm buying an old school Denver Nuggets jersey because those old ones are very nice. Though they do have a nice one this year too.
Yeah, I really like theirs.
I really do. And then you got one more there, right?
I lied. I'm doing 2 more. There's 2 3-team trades.
Okay. Yeah.
So one involving your OKC Thunder. So the Sixers get a really good backup guard in George Hill. They also get Austin Rivers, which is another good depth piece, playing for his dad again. Austin Rivers and Tony Bradley are going to OKC. My bad. And Terrence Ferguson is going to the Knicks. The big piece of this is George Hill going to the Sixers. It gives them that guard. You can really kind of do whatever you want with Ben Simmons now. You can play him at the point, and then have George Hill behind him on the bench. You could move Ben Simmons back to power forward or small forward and have George Hill be your point guard. Like this gives them a lot of flexibility. And then the last one, the Wizards get center Daniel Gafford and Chandler Hutchinson. The Celtics get Luke Cornett and center Mo Wagner. And the Bulls get center Daniel Tice, Javonte Green, Troy Brown Jr., and cash considerations from both the Celtics and the Wizards. The Bulls are making moves here. Like they're pretty low in the East right now.
Yep.
But man, if it's not for this year, they're loaded for next year. Like they're going to make a big move in the offseason. I'm calling it now.
There's a lot of these teams in the East. Like it's always the East problem where it's just like, there's one or two teams that are going to make the playoffs that have a losing record. It's just the way that the standings are, guys, and there's nothing that we can do about it. And they're voting on it every single year, and they seem to get traction and then lose votes. So that's just the way that it is. But yeah, Chicago has enough where they really could make a push. And like some of these teams, like 4 through 8 in the East, when it comes playoff time, are gonna push Philadelphia and the other teams at the top there. Like if Boston all of a sudden just randomly comes in at 8 and you got Philly versus Boston at 8, I would put some money on that for sure.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So ladies and gentlemen, there's Alex Loosemore with the NBA trade deadline updates for North Sports Dynasty. I brought to you by nothing because we don't have any sponsors. But if you want to sponsor us or you know anybody, hey, shout out to us or shout out us to them.
Yeah,
we'll bring it.
That'd be dope.
We give free sponsors to only my fiance's companies, which is Little Puppy Paradise and Little Buddha Soap Company, which stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, but more specifically for you gentlemen out there. You want soap? We may have something in the works. Oh, it's going to be cool. So stay tuned for that. That's a tease. That's what we like to call there's probably an actual proper radio term for it, but I'm just going to call it a tease. And Heartbeat Hot Sauce, which will have their own podcast coming out here soon. I just saw that get posted, and I was like, hey, I gotta listen to that. That's going to be kind of cool. Next giveaway, I know a lot of people were like, hey, that was cool. I wanted to win something. No, well, it sucks to be you. It didn't work. I randomized it as many times as I could. Okay, I'm sorry. But you did hear us say that we have a lot of things that we can give away this year. Still do. So that means the next giveaway, for sure, we may have a couple of things to give away in the next couple of episodes, so stay tuned. But the next, bigger giveaway that we have is going to be the day that we do the live show for the actual NFL draft. And that day we are giving away 2 jerseys to one specific person. And yeah, so that person will win 2 jerseys. One jersey for sure is going to be I was going to say drum roll, but then I could have knocked so many things over and that would have sucked. Oh my God. Oh, my heart raced because I did that to myself. The one thing that we are giving away for sure is a Cam Newton Carolina Panthers jersey with the Seacrest on it. Seacrest out. The Seacrest on it and everything. And then we got another jersey, but we're going to wait to drop that one.
Yeah.
And then we'll have some other things. We might have 2 or 3 things to give away that day. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But we do have giveaways. We do like to give things away. We bought things to give away and obviously to get some traction on our channel. Let's not even kid ourselves here, people.
Yeah.
Like, come on. This is what we're doing. Hey, if we can make a living off of this, if we could literally sit here and do this every 2 or 3 days a week, I would.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Then we can have people vote and like send. So people would be like, I'll pay $6 to make Alex put a whiteboard in the back, and then someone would be like, I'll pay $17 for it to be a stripper pole, and they'd be like, well, okay, someone's got to pay $20 to be at a whiteboard again.
Yeah,
help.
I'd pay it myself.
Yeah, at this point, like, I'm gonna work a little bit of overtime here. Okay. So the bets at the bottom here before we start dropping into the mock draft stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to get a little sip in there. The 5 bets of the day, we get the Rangers at Philadelphia. Take the Rangers at the spread of 1.5. So basically 2-goal lead. They've been just swamping Philadelphia. And I think that Philadelphia will make it close, but I think the Rangers will get that 1-goal lead going into the third and maybe knock in that empty netter. But a plus 185, can't go wrong with that. Columbus at our Red Wings. As much as I love our Red Wings to death, they still do suck.
Don't pick them, yeah.
Columbus is still on a playoff push here, whether they like their head coach or not.
Yeah.
Also 1.5 here, plus 165. Get yourself some cash with those 2 games. Vegas at Colorado. Both are kind of racing for the top spot here. As you can kind of see right up there is the standings. Vegas 165 as well. Get yourself some cash with a really good Golden Knight team that knows how to play.
That should be an awesome game.
It is actually, yeah. We do have Kim's cousin who does play for the Colorado Avalanche. Still hurts me that he didn't get drafted by Detroit, but it's here there. We do have the Boston and Buffalo game going on, and Buffalo currently has a 1-0 lead, which is surprising.
As we were trashing them earlier.
Yeah, it's not going to last here, guys. So if you can find, I don't even know, I don't have it up. You can find Boston at a nice plus right now. I would take it. In the NBA, Boston at Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a weird one. I'm going to give you Oklahoma at plus 270 to win it. They've been playing good, and Boston's been kind of struggling. And Boston may just tear the court up tonight, and that is a complete possibility. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
But the way that the Thunder have been playing, and they know, like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's got to know that he's got some people coming in the next couple of years. So I'll just calm down. The Thunder are going to be good. They're not as bad as we think. So that's for sure. Take a chance. That's some good money there. $2 bet. $2 bet would win you $5.70, I believe is what that was. No, $5.20 or 40 cents, whatever. And then Dallas at New Orleans. Based on what I saw last night, if you just want to try and double your money as close as you can to that money line, take the under at 229.5. I think the game will end in like a 105 to 107 final. I don't see that going too high. So those are my bets for today. Let's see. I was like, where the heck did my mousey go? Let's see who's in the comments today. All right.
Oh man, if this trade's true, that's in the comments. It's further down below, but
yeah. Okay, we'll get to there. In
oh
a second.
man,
what's up, my Canadian brother? Don't really follow sports, but I love both your passion and enthusiasm. Thank you, and
Thanks.
also thank you, David. What's up, Big Board? That's a Bucks Report fan right there. Thank you for tuning in. Enthusiasm is real with Andrew. Hey, I have warned everyone. If you tune into this, I am borderline. I am extremely borderline and extremely passionate when it comes to sports. Alex is here to kind of calm me down and be for those nice, calmer fans who are like, "Hey, I love you guys' sports. I need to calm a little bit here, man."
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
That's why Alex is here. Just wait till the days that he starts getting real passionate.
My teams just need to win something first.
Right? Welcome to Sports Dynasty. Heck yeah. Thank you for tuning in, Shelby. I know I work with both of them. They're awesome people. Thank you very much. Oh my God, that ref was you're right.
Yeah, could have been smarter.
Johnny Dean, what's up, guys? Go Bolts. Yes, I'm aware that you were a Bolts. I can't remember where. I thought he was a Pittsburgh fan for a bit there, but no, that's right.
Gross.
That's Zook. It's my obvious. Yeah. Besides, I call it Iserman my daddy, but this is a close, very close Russian relative.
Yeah. He's
Andrew,
the
you read down your big board after yesterday's insane
redone.
or redone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Sorry. I redone my board. Yes, we did. Me and Alex redid our boards.
Thanks, Miami.
And Philly.
Wow. Yeah.
It was funny. I was telling Kim that yesterday when I came outside at the end of the day, I just went to your arm and I'm like, yeah, that ticked me off.
Yeah.
Is that Trojan helmet on Streets' table there?
Oh yeah. Yes, it is.
Stretch table there. Is it?
Yeah. So my high school team I played for was the Camrose Trojans. That's also the jersey in the back there. When I was done playing, a close family friend of ours was my offensive and defensive line coach, along with my dad. They gave me my jersey and a helmet, which was really awesome of them. So yeah, I've kept that, and it'll be there every time for the show. It'll be there every time.
I gotta get myself a helmet. That really didn't suck. I think maybe Dak. We have another trade, folks. Oh, what are we doing?
If this is true. That's why I've been like looking down. I've been on my phone trying to on Twitter trying to find something. I haven't found anything yet.
Let's check. Let me check.
I went straight to Schefter and Rappaport and haven't seen anything yet. So
I don't see anything yet either.
Man, if that happens, though, holy.
Hold on. Yeah, because Ian would have had something already. Yeah, I haven't seen.
But holy, if Washington trades up to get whichever quarterback's still left.
Let me just check that. Because that's going to be latest. I don't see. Why you gotta do that to us, bro?
Man, I was like, oh my god.
Joe.
As we're about to do our mock drafts too,
right? I'll bet as long as you cover all losses. hey, if Canada allowed certain things like FanDuel and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that I could get us say sponsored or at least acquired pretty damn quickly. I would, yeah, and understand that wherever I go, Alex is coming.
Oh yeah,
there we go. Alex is coming with. It's been a while since I was trolling on this side. I hope I didn't let you down, Red. All right, let's get into some of these mock drafts since that's what the people want. And that I don't see anything on that trade right now.
Matt, yeah,
that freaked me out.
Yeah, especially because it's like 1951 and 4. That's 3 different picks in this mock draft alone.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we are only basically doing we'll just run down our second ones there. The second round, just talk about like some of the more prominent ones. But we're gonna do our first rounders now. I'm gonna pull up on my end just so I have stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time at the 40th minute. It's mock draft time 2.0. This is the first time we actually get to be
basically
on a show.
3.0, but
what's that? Well, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And if it was going to be that trade, it would have been like 3.5, like on the fly.
Oh my god, yeah. I would have just been like, okay, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Like,
oh, that would have sucked. I would not have liked it. So we're going to do our mock draft 2.0. We're going to talk about the top 15 a little bit more in depth here. And then through that, after that, we're just basically going to touch base on some more of the Dynasty prospects, which obviously, if it has something to do with Dynasty, we will spend just like a tad bit more time for our Dynasty listeners, which we did find out today. We do have a few diehards of our show, which is awesome. So I love hearing that. And we will bring you the best content that we can north of the border. Because those Americans only want to talk to Americanos. I want to talk to the whole dang world.
Yeah.
I've had way too much coffee this morning. My God. Okay, here we go. First pick in the 2021 NFL Draft goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alex, who do you got?
I mean, the draft basically starts at the third pick. This is Trevor Lawrence. It's a given. Like,
Yep.
the best quarterback to come in since whoever you want to throw. Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning. Like, the guy's a stud. He can do everything. Athletic, really good arm. No brainer here.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer was under center at the pro day. This is happening. Like,
I am going to still be on camera to state. Okay, I hold true to like the takes that I say, and then if I obviously not say take my take back, I will say, hey, I'm reiterating what I said, or I was wrong about what I said. I think, and I'm going to hold true to this, I think that Trevor Lawrence will be the best number one pick since Peyton Manning, and I think that he is going to get close,
just regardless of position.
Regardless, well, no, for quarterbacks.
Okay.
Like he will be like basically second then to Peyton Manning, but he will be very close to what Peyton Manning accomplished as a number one quarterback.
Okay.
For Dynasty though, some people think that he will start sneaking into the top 5, just because of say that relevance that he's going to be there for a while and you can get him for 5 years with consistency. Those people aren't wrong, but if you go through not necessarily just our mock draft, but other people's mock drafts, there's going to be like 3 to possibly 4 running backs that you may want to take, and there's definitely going to be a tight end that people want,
and like 3 to 4 receivers at least. Like,
yeah. So
if you're down at the end of the rookie draft, Lawrence would be like 9th, 10th pick would be an absolute steal.
Now he is, from what I've seen, sneaking to that 6 spot. People are kind of looking at him at
interesting.
6, but I even number 5, and that's what I did write into mind, is that he is looking at the top 5, because you may want to take him instead of say Jamar Chase goes to Philadelphia and all these top 3 wide receivers go to a place where they're not going to be number 1s, they'll be number 1A or 1Bs, right?
Yeah.
You may want to just take your quarterback and call it a day. But still, you may still want to just draft the talent that you're going to need eventually and see what happens.
Yeah.
Number 2, basically the same thing. As of yesterday, it's official. We can call it.
Man, I wish we had a clip of that throw.
I'm going to have to talk to a few people and see if I can just like throw random. I think if it's off Twitter,
I don't think it's allowed, but
we'll find it. Maybe I have.
Man, like a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left, he's still fading to his left and throws 60 yards on the dot.
That was nice.
There's like maybe 3-4 guys in the NFL that can make that throw right now.
And the one thing that I did say that is a big selling point for this, ladies and gentlemen, that a lot of people aren't thinking of and haven't really thought of since the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing. This guy's pretty. Might be weird for me to say right now. Hey, he's got quarterback face. Colin Cowherd has made a segment about this, and he is right. If you have a quarterback face, why do you think they Brady, for crying out loud?
Yeah.
Like some of these young, like even some young girls now and young men are still like, hey, Woo, Brady's like 43. It's like, wow, this kid's going to go to New York. They're going to be able to blast his face everywhere. And then everyone's going to be like, whoa, who the heck
all
is that?
over commercials. Like,
exactly. And he's already rich. So he's already got that swagger. So he's going to go to New York and just own it. So yeah, that's basically number 2. We both have that. The Dynasty ramifications, not really ramifications, but he's gonna start, and you could probably plug and play him in. But to be honest, I would, if you can keep a taxi spot and you have another quarterback that you can just run with first, just to see what they're gonna do with that offense first for the first year, would do that. Waste the taxi spot on him. That's just me. Unless you absolutely have to waste not
like
say
a
waste,
team like mine in our league. I got no quarterbacks. I would need them right away.
Yeah. Whereas me in a different other league, I have a lot of quarterbacks, and I kept them for a reason because I have no running backs, and I'm like, listen, I will eventually drop these guys, but the best offer is going to get the quarterback, and that's how dynasties work here, guys. So, for this taxi spot, probably the best for the first year, unless you need a quarterback. Then plug and play them, call it a day. There you go. So number 3.
This is where we start to differ a little bit.
And you know what? I don't think it's going to be for long. I really don't.
Yeah.
But so number 3, Alex has got Trey Lance. And talk about the most. That makes the most sense now after, like, I saw Michael Lombardi's tweet this morning, and I even woke up and I'm like, I said Trey Lance. Why am I letting the media influence me?
Yep.
And so now tell them why you think Trey Lance would make sense first.
Well, to me, realistically, you've got Garoppolo, and I let Andrew talk me into this yesterday. They're going to keep him another year. You're going to keep him a year, let him play, let this young guy learn under Kyle Shanahan, who's one of the best quarterback whisperers in the game. So you let him grow, develop, and then you ship Garoppolo off next year, probably to New England. Let's just be real here. But, I mean, I just stuck with my gut. When we were doing the mock drafts before and San Francisco was at 12, both these quarterbacks were there, and I was taking Trey Lance before. So I'm like, why would I switch now? Just because everyone's saying go Mac, and they want Mac Jones. Well, they also want Trey Lance. Mm-hmm. So to me, it just made sense to stick with Trey Lance.
And I've said, like, and I'm not purposely trying to sway Alex here. It obviously makes for better content when me and him have way different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But with these quarterbacks, guys, this is starting to look like one of the better quarterback prospected drafts since the Eli, Ben, Phillip Rivers one of 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And Trey Lance, I've said Trey Lance from the beginning, like that one season made him look absolutely amazing. The one game that he came in obviously didn't make him look that great.
No.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Every team's going to have it. Every quarterback's going to have its day. And I mean, Zach Wilson had games that he didn't look that great either.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, what I've said is Trey Lance looks like, to me, a mixture of Lamar and Michael Vick, that maybe not as fast, obviously.
Yeah.
But more developed, a more developed runner where he's not going to sprint for 120 yards a game, but he's going to sprint for 60 to 70, and he's going to be like that early version of Russell Wilson. But that arm, to have like a Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen type of arm on such a little guy like that who can move.
Man, that's the one thing with this draft. The top quarterbacks, they all have that elite arm strength. Like, it's insane. They all can make 60, 70-yard throws. Like,
Yep. We just saw Zach Wilson do it. That definitely increased his stock. The Mac Jones, for me, is only because he's looking like Josh Allen from Buffalo. He looks like you can mold him into that. And I was influenced by the media, and I'm sticking to it right now, and I'm gonna do a lot because that's the one thing I got on that board right there. Is it Mac Jones or is it Trey Lance? Because as much as I want it to be Josh Fields, like I may start thinking of that too, but it makes more sense with those two quarterbacks for a Kyle Shanahan type of offense.
Yeah.
And Fields, we go to number 4, is where I have Josh Fields going to. And I only say that now because I think Atlanta starts seeing everybody else trading up and says, screw it. Doing it. Let's grab our quarterback now. It's still one of the ones that we want. But Alex here has got them going Micah Parsons. And that's also a very good pick. And I don't want that as a Bucs fan.
I think as a Bucs fan, you're screwed either way.
Yeah.
There's too many good players for too many big holes on that Falcons team. Like,
yeah.
Tell
the guys and the girls out there why you chose Micah Parsons.
Well, for me, first of all, as a Michigan fan, I saw Micah Parsons just absolutely torch our offense for years.
Is it Micah or Mika?
Micah.
Okay, it is Micah. Okay.
And then to me, Micah Parsons is if you put Jamal Adams at linebacker, but he was 250 pounds. He ran in I think it was like 4.3s for a 40 at his pro day a couple days ago.
Yep.
So insanely fast, big. He needs to work on his coverage a little bit, in my opinion, but other than that, he can do it all. He's a really good in-the-box linebacker. He can get to the quarterback. You could put him on the edge. You can have him blitz right down the middle. Like, there's nothing really that he can't do. This is the ultimate chess piece for that Falcons defense, especially if you pair him with Deion Jones.
Yep.
Like, I think that's scary.
Yep. In the original 2.0 one, I actually had the Dolphins if they weren't going to trade out because I didn't know. And we still don't necessarily know, but now we know that number 3 is basically going to be a quarterback. Everyone's saying you don't give up all that draft capital for an offensive lineman or a wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like when Julio Jones is sitting there at number 6 and you're the Atlanta Falcons, yeah, you give up that. And I totally would get that. That's also the pass though.
And to me, for that pick, just to be clear, I said it in my little write-up there for the pick. If this wasn't Atlanta, Carolina's trading in my opinion, to get Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I don't see if you're Atlanta how you can let your division rival come in and get their quarterback of the future. Like,
and that's the
next pick.
And that's what kind of made me remember the other reason of this is, if you're Atlanta, you're basically allowing Matt Rule to have the option of what quarterback he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you just take him, if you take the one that you think is good for you already, because you have the benefit of the doubt for choosing like the next 2, you're just leaving him one, but that may not even technically be good for his offense. So, if it's between, say, just Justin Fields and Mac Jones, like he may not want Mac Jones, and you're like, screw it, I'm taking Justin Fields anyway.
To me, the one thing with Atlanta that kind of scared me away from taking a quarterback is that restructuring of Matt Ryan's contract. This basically tells you he's going to be there for another 2-3 years. And also, with Arthur Smith coming in as the head coach, look at what he did for Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill was almost out of the league because Adam Gase ruined him.
Yep.
And then he gets to Tennessee, works with Arthur Smith, and most people say he's a top 10 quarterback now.
Yeah.
So I think you get him with Matt Ryan, who hasn't played bad since his MVP season. Like, he might be able to win another MVP here.
No, yeah. Shout out Rick Hughes for last year saying that Atlanta could go like 2-14 or 14-2. Like they really are that team. They really, really are. Dynasty ramifications for the last 2 picks is basically taxi squatted. I wrote that up as well in the little thing there. You're going to want to keep a roster spot open, obviously, if you need a quarterback, or you want to utilize, I would say, Trey Lance if he's there at number 3 for yours. For the 49ers, and they make a playoff push and they start putting him in, you're going to want to probably play him. So you keep a roster spot open for that.
Yeah.
Whereas Justin Fields, I think you're going to have to just let him sit for a little bit, let him get the system. He's probably not going to start for Matt Ryan unless obviously something happens to Matt Ryan. So taxi squad. I can just hear all the people in our Dynasty League yelling at me, being like, oh, hey, Andrew, it's probably a really great fucking year for you to just make our taxi squad to go from 4 to 3. Asshole. I know, but we got to make it fair. So then at number 5, we both had the same trade, which I find hilarious. And guys, we don't talk. Like we don't, when it comes to the mock drafts, we talk about everything like together.
But we do it ourselves first.
Yeah, we do this like by ourselves. This is our thing, and then we like to just put it out there and then do it, and then be like, oh, okay, yeah,
just kind of bounce ideas off each other. Yeah,
and it's better to do it that way because there's no influence either which way, right? I mean, the whole Trey Lance thing has been going on for a while with Alex, and this is not me like being like, you need to listen to who Trey Lance is going to be. It's like, no, he's literally coming around and seeing what everybody else is seeing.
Yeah.
That he's going to be great. So the Carolina Panthers, we have trading to number 5 with the Cincinnati Bengals.
I find that hilarious that both of us did that.
Yeah, I literally just saw that too. And I was like, wow, okay. Obviously you have them picking Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Which I think is, that would be a good one. And in mine, I have them taking Trey Lance only because obviously the Mac Jones being gone at number 3.
And Fields at 4.
And Fields at 4. I think that Carolina says, okay,
we got to get our guy.
We're getting our guy now. So they go and grab Trey Lance and let him sit behind Teddy Bridgewater. Dynasty ramifications, guys. Let him sit for a bit. Something happens to Teddy or whatever. That's when you can come out and play him. But
I think whoever Carolina gets here halfway through the season, they're going to be going. They don't like Bridgewater. They tried to get Stafford. They're trying to get Watson. If they don't get Watson, whichever quarterback they pick here is going to play week 8, week 9. It's going to be their team from there on in.
Now to start him though, I would obviously
I'd be careful.
Yeah, obviously if McCaffrey is like completely healthy, you got your safety blanket, and that's going to be really, really good for you there. But that's going to be really, really good for the person who's got Christian McCaffrey. And I know exactly who's got Christian McCaffrey in our freaking league, and I ain't helping that Falcon fan. So just obviously be careful. You're going to want with most of these quarterbacks just to wait a year just to see obviously what happens. But I also said this with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
This one I might be wrong with about as well. I just find it funny that we both had that trade happening.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So number 6, we both have the same one. I think this is the reason why the Dolphins traded right back into the top 10 is they knew that they had to get one of these top receivers to be on the other side to ensure that they get the best out of Tua. What do you see out of Jamar Chase? Because I obviously see him as a number 1. Do you think he can take that number 1 spot away from Devontae?
Oh, yeah. To me, there's nothing this guy can't do. He's big. He's strong. He's like really quick, really good hands. Like there's a reason Joe Burrow had all that success at LSU. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, like these guys, and look at what Jefferson's done in the league now. Jamar Chase was, in my opinion, miles ahead of Justin Jefferson. Like this guy is going to be unreal. And just one thing here for me, Miami trading back in. We're all looking at receiver, but don't throw out the possibility of an offensive lineman because that offensive line is awful right now.
Yeah, I
it's loaded later on though, so it could be receiver and then double up on offensive lineman in the second round or something like that. Like,
and see, that's where I do think it is going to be a Brian Flores decision. It's really a toss up between Penny and Jamar. If Jamar's still obviously there. A lot of people might be screaming Kyle Pitts at this point, but you got Gesicki, and you can easily go and get another tight end eventually if you really want to.
The only thing would be if you're going to play Pitts as more of a slot receiver than a tight end. Like that I could see.
And in this offense, and especially with Tua being left-handed, you just want to get another wide receiver out there. You don't want to do anything too crazy that's going to, not say adhere that offense, because I'm not saying Kyle Pitts is going to obviously adhere that offense. I'm just saying that Tua's development may be better with just another number 1 wide receiver than another number 1 tight end. But either way, it could be awesome. Dynasty ramifications. I wrote up about the 1A, 1B comparison in that. So just, be careful about that, but it could be a really nice flex position going forward. Me and you also have the same one here, it looks like, in Penny Sewell at the Detroit Lions. Duh!
Yeah.
Dude, I would get that jersey.
Yeah.
I would totally get that jersey.
To me, at this point, the Lions are pretty much just – they're in this full-blown rebuild. You can go best guy available. I know their defense is awful. to me, they're really the one spot they really only don't need on defense is the defensive line. I really like where the defensive line is at right now, especially re-signing Romeo Okwara and trading for Michael Brockers. I like that defensive line the way it is. Linebackers are horrible. Corners were young, so I wouldn't be against getting another corner there and getting 3 young corners to kind of grow together. The safeties are okay. They're also young, so you could let them go. To me, though, a tackle like Penei Sewell, you can't pass him up.
No.
This is, in my opinion, the best offensive lineman since Joe Thomas, and that's better than Trent Williams, better than Quentin Nelson, better than Zach Martin.
I will not have disrespect of Quentin Nelson.
This isn't disrespect. I
know.
love me some Quentin Nelson, but man, Penei Sewell can do it all. He can maul you in the run game. He's elite in the pass game. Just stonewalls guy at the line. To me, it's insane.
It makes no sense how good of players that there were on that Oregon team, and they
couldn't win anything.
Couldn't win anything, man. The other one here we got, obviously, with the Bengals going back to number 8. So you got them picking Rashawn Slater, and I do like this pick because if you're trading back from number 5 and you're going to lose up on Penei, you made up a really good point where they've kind of got their guard positions figured out and their tackle positions figured out.
Yeah.
And this guy can play guard, and he could eventually play tackle if he needs to. This guy's a beast.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is we saw how dominant Chase Young was in the NFL this year, how dominant he was in college. Go look up this guy's tape against Chase Young. Mm-hmm. Chase Young was locked down by Rashawn Slater.
Oh, yeah.
To me, that says it all. And I just saw a comment here. I would take Slater over Sewell all day.
I know. Was that Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny loves his Slater. I know that.
Slater's a hell of a player. To me, the versatility works in certain teams. But to me, for the Lions, I think specifically you need a tackle. They've got Terrell Crosby playing right tackle right now, but he's more suited for guard, I would say. Mm-hmm. Slide him into that right guard. Then you could go either Sewell at left tackle or Taylor Decker at left tackle. Either way, you're set.
Yep.
Jonah Jackson's a really good left guard that we drafted last year. Frank Ragnow is one of the better centers in football. Then you go Terrell Crosby, which for him to be the weakest offensive lineman, I'd be very okay with. And then the other one of Decker or Sewell at right tackle. That was an above average offensive line last year. This could make them elite.
Yeah. Sorry, my other phone was just going crazy. It was like, oh, look, I'm home. I can just connect to the Wi-Fi and all that kind of crazy stuff. Get out of here. So you're not wrong. That offensive line would just protect the crap out of Burrow. Now all of a sudden we're talking about one of the better offensive lines in the league. I went a different way, and I took obviously Kyle Pitts there. I've said there's a couple places that if Kyle Pitts goes to, we're talking real dynasty ramifications here.
Possible number 1 pick.
Very possible.
And you've got one. I've got another one of the 2 or 3.
Yeah. Also, if this does happen, if this did happen, and Kyle Pitts was there at number 8, please give me the number 8 pick for any team for the rest of my life. Christian McCaffrey picked at number 8. Isaiah Wilson picked at number 8. Kyle Pitts picked at number 8. Those would just be a couple of names right off the top of my head that I could.
Hawkinson at 8.
Who?
We picked Hawkinson at 8.
Hawkinson at, there you go. Those are just a couple of names right off the last few years at number 8. So, I'll trade up to number 8. I'll do that every day. You know what I mean? That seems to be the nice sweet spot. And dynasty for this, guys. You think everybody was going after Kyle Pitts no matter where he went anyway.
Man, if he ends up as Joe Burrow's one of his top targets, oh man.
He's going to have T. Higgins and Boyd on the
Tyler
outside.
Boyd, yeah.
And then they can probably just go grab any slot receiver or, anybody from in-house for a little bit, or you can just use this guy.
A second or third round pick. Like, receivers are loaded in this draft.
Who the
Hell,
hell?
you get a fourth or fifth rounder that could probably start in the slot for you.
Who the hell is going to cover this guy in that division?
Man, I don't know. Because you're going to throw a corner on him, though?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
who in that division? Like, Pittsburgh's kind of, okay, Mika Fitzpatrick will probably do okay. And
yeah.
then maybe a Creed Williams and Grant Delpit healthy coming in for the Browns, but who else?
John Johnson maybe for the Browns.
Yeah, okay, maybe the Browns will be able to shut down everybody else, but like if they can start, oh man, we gotta keep going because So number 9, you would have Mac Jones, a trade.
Yeah, I've got New England sliding in.
Yeah, quick.
Bill Belichick and Nick Saban are buddies, and it's ironic because they both win everything. But to me, the Broncos, I had them taking Patrick Surtain Jr., the corner from Alabama. But they signed Ronald Darby and Kyle Fuller, so cornerback isn't necessarily a need. I mean, you could always add more corners in that division. But I think you trade back. You can take the best guy available at 15, and Bill Belichick gets his guy to develop. Let Cam Newton play this year. See if you've really got anything in him. And then you can either, if it doesn't work out, then you've got Mac Jones.
Yeah.
And you said Josh Allen. To me, I went somebody I don't like the athleticism comparison there. I went, and you might not like this, I went Drew Brees. Really athletic thrower. Not great arm strength, not like all the intangibles and all that. He's going to check every box.
Yeah.
The accuracy is awesome. He's got enough strength to make all the throws. And last time I checked, Belichick seems to have a really good history with the mobile pocket quarterbacks with good but not great arms.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And honestly, I even had Mac Jones fall into them, I think, in the first one. I think a few teams are going to start getting thirsty, so that's why obviously I had my first 5 be quarterbacks. But it's interesting.
Realistically, could go that way.
It's interesting that you would have Denver trading out, but I mean they could still be in the Watson sweepstakes and everything like that too, and Wilson and all that kind of stuff. So you never know.
I just saw Johnny comment again there, and this scares me too. Mac Jones could very well be a product of the Bama system. He says, name a good quarterback from Bama. I would say you got to give Hurts and Tua another year. But then he's got a point. The last one that's really done anything in the NFL is A.J. McCarron.
Oh, hey, and he's been a solid backup. You're not wrong.
But, I mean, you're not drafting this high to get a solid backup. That scares me with Mac Jones.
I think that's one of the reasons why it scared a lot of people with the whole Josh Allen aspect when he was coming in, is they were like, hey, he's going to need some work. And I think if you put him with the appropriate in the appropriate system, like they did in Buffalo and stuff like that, because they,
and build around him.
Yeah. And they let him struggle.
Yeah.
They don't just say, no, it's good. We got to go get another one.
Yeah. You got to let these guys take their bumps. We're being way too quick calling these guys a bust after a year or two.
Exactly.
Go back to the old way. Eli Manning struggled his first 3-4 years, and then it just clicked in 2007. They won a Super Bowl. So give them their time.
Yeah, I agree. Give it the time. If Mac Jones and the Patriots, if given the time, and he is exactly what people think he could be, that whole division would be just like.
It'd be fun. It would be a fun division. It'd be the way the NFC West is looking right now.
Right. So you went number 10 with the Cowboys here. You got Patrick Surtain Jr. That's just obviously a very good solid pick.
Just best defender available at this point.
And that's basically what I did here as well. Except I went Kwity Paye.
I like that pick.
Yeah, Kwity Paye is there. You're going to want to get some pressure on. You definitely do not want the Giants or the Eagles or the Washington football team to have time to set anything up. And watching his tape last night, actually, it was on the NFL Network. That's a monster.
Well, and see, they did him a disservice by the way they played defense. Yeah. They had ends play end play tackle. Like, they moved him all over the place. If you put him as an outside edge rusher on that end, hand in the dirt, he's going to be a stud for you. Like,
yeah. And that seems like the most appropriate place to go would be Dallas.
Yeah.
It seems like he would be a disruptive mess there. Number 11, you got Jalen Waddle, which I thought about. Believe me, I was like, hey. Only reason I said no was just because of the Kenny Golladay signing. But you?
I went the same kind of thing Denver did last year. At this point, you give him as many weapons as you possibly can, and you see what you've got. You're going to see, especially if you've got Waddle, you've got that down the field threat in Waddle, the speed threat.
Yep.
You've got your big catch receiver in Golladay, and you've got your route runner to go everything over the middle in Sterling Shepard. You've got Evan Engram, a really good tight end, and you've got Saquon Barkley. Name me a better set of weapons, at least in the NFC. You're going to be able to tell by American Thanksgiving what you've got in Daniel Jones. If you need to go get a new quarterback next year, or if you've got a stud.
And
I almost went offensive line, though.
And that's where I went. I just went with Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech because I like the protection. And that's why I swore when I wrote this little article up, too. I to all those people out there, I like to put a little comedic flair into my articles and blogs. And this one was about bipolar. So... New York Giants, I got them as Christian Darrisaw just because I thought the same thing as you, but I went the opposite way with I think they want to give Daniel Jones as much protection as they possibly can so that they can see what they can do with some of this talent that they already got in-house. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I dropped my fucking marker. There we go. I picked it up. Number 12. We both got the Eagles trading back and still getting their wide receiver. And that's basically, that's consistent around the board is I think they're going to get that third or fourth wide receiver up there.
Yeah.
If there's 4 gone or something like that for the odd chance, I think it would be an offensive lineman. But I got them taking Jalen Waddle. You got them taking Devontae Smith. Both, again, really, really good picks here. Speed on both sides. For me, I said Jalen Reagor would be like your speed guy, and Jalen Waddle could be more of like your number one. Yours would make it like you got 2 Deshaun Jacksons back in the damn day. Holy crap. Say Dynasty ramifications for this one. In either case, it's a 1A, 1B type situation. So, you might be able to get a good flex out of it, but, obviously be careful. Be very, very careful. Number 13, you got them taking an offensive lineman, Christian Darrisaw. So we, as you guys can kind of hear, we kind of ranked our guys accordingly. We kind of know where most of these guys are going to go. Christian Darrisaw, I agree, dude. What's the other spot that we're missing here on the Chargers? Well, we got a guard kind of that may not be that good, and maybe attack. We're gonna replace them. We're gonna replace all of them. Justin Herbert's the damn future.
Well, to me, look at what happened to Joe Burrow.
Thank you.
Like, you've got to protect these young guys. You don't want them turning out like Andrew Luck, who's talent-wise one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it, and you lost him after like 6 seasons. I'll never forget that because I picked him in a fucking work league. And 10 minutes later, he retired. I was so mad about that.
Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So you can't have these guys being Andrew Luck. You've got to protect these guys.
No, I agree. And a lot of people are like, well, I mean, their offensive line's already pretty good. Like, it'd be like taking one of your good, just say meta good guards or tackles out of any of your guys' teams and replacing it with this guy. You'd be like, okay. I do it. Right. As a Bucs fan, I got no problem with that. There's no holes in my team, ladies and gentlemen.
I couldn't find one.
So up against the clock here. I didn't realize we've talked for so long. So we got about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes left. So we'll go say a little bit faster. I got Rashawn Slater falling down to the Vikings. It would just make sense if he was there at the
They
Vikings.
run to the podium there.
Right. Number 13, I do have the Los Angeles Chargers taking Caleb Farley. I just think they went more of the defensive side. But 14 would be the Minnesota Vikings, Rashawn Slater, offensive line out of Northwestern. Just protect. And if Kirk Cousins isn't the answer, you just get him the hell out of there. And you got a really good offensive line for when the other guy
is. Yeah.
And you got them taking Kwity Paye. They do need to address that defensive line. I do agree.
Yeah.
Or just that defense in general. And yeah, Kwity Paye, if he's there at number 14, my goodness gracious.
Well, and you'll see later, I don't think Danielle Hunter's there this season. So
no, and that's
you've got to get somebody there.
Yep. Number 15, I got them taking Devontae Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama.
Oh.
I think, hey. Cam Newton, hey, you can't throw that far. That's cool. This guy's just going to do these nice little sesh plays for you and these curl routes and these little motion plays. You're going to love it.
Run after the catch. Oh, man.
Yep. I even said in my write-up that he's going to become a Laviska Shenault type player. And if you guys don't know who that is, it's a Jacksonville Jaguar.
You'll find out this year.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is going to just adore him. Dynasty ramifications, flex, but bench. Just be careful. Very careful. And then number 15 for you got Christian Barmore, obviously with the trade that you had earlier with the Broncos. He falls down to them. Man, down lineman in that 3-4 defense would be really nice, eh?
Yeah. That's like one of their very few needs.
Now, after this, just going to touch up on a couple. I'm going to go through Alex's here quick and touch base on a couple. Kyle Pitts to sit, man.
That's the one I was talking about.
I had that in my first one, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it again. If the Arizona Cardinals just find a way to get Kyle Pitts, I don't give a crap if Najee Harris does go to the Buffalo Bills or the Bucks or anywhere or whatever. I'm taking Kyle Pitts number 1. I'm trading. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. He's also got the Raiders getting an offensive lineman in Elijah Vera Tucker, USC at number 17. He's got Miami Dolphins taking Najee Harris at number 18. That would
him and Myles Gaskin. That's a good 1-2 punch.
That is a very good 1-2 punch. Very good 1-2 punch. Washington football team at 19. A stretch here has got Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan. What a great offensive tackle he is going to be, and a great addition for the what the hell is the head coach's name? Riverboat Ron. There we go.
Yeah,
Riverboat Ron. Chicago Bears take a corner at number 20. J.C. Horn from South Carolina. The Colts. Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle. They get that tackle they wanted.
Yeah.
Plug and play. I like that. I'm also finding out all this as we go here, so this is fun. Tennessee Titans, number 22, Rashad Bateman, wide receiver. That way, hey, you lose Corey Davis, replace him with a younger, better version of what he could have been. At
AJ Brown and Josh Reynolds. That's a really good trio.
Hey, Josh Reynolds. That sounds. Keep that name out there, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that name. That's called that in the business is what we call the tease. New York Jets, number 23, take Travis Etienne. That's that would make sense. I have him taking a different running back there, and we'll get to that, but it's a good pick either way to take a running back at number 23 for the Jets. 24 Steelers, Koromoa from Notre Dame. Oh, you're gonna just keep making that defense. You just keep making that defense better, aren't you?
Yeah.
Jacksonville, number 25, Samuel Cosme from Texas. I love that tackle.
Yeah, I had him in the second and third rounds, and he's just climbed for me the more I look into him.
I did want him to fall to the Bucks eventually, but it's not going to happen now.
I don't think so.
No. Cleveland Browns, number 26, Rondale Moore from Purdue. They ran last year, and now let's just throw it.
Yeah, and I don't think OBJ is going to be there, so that's your speed replacement there.
I agree. 27, Baltimore Ravens, Aziz Ojulari. That's a really good defensive pick there, dude.
Yeah.
Number 28, New Orleans Saints would take Jamie Newman. Remember that name when I do mine here in a second, because He's gonna be an up and comer. He's sleeping.
The only reason he's not a guaranteed first round pick is because he didn't play last year.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I lost yours. There we go. 29. Kadarius Toney from Florida. Man, Devontae Adams and him would just suck.
I would hate that.
You especially, yeah. I don't want to play them in the NFC Championship game again. 30. Minnesota Vikings. Joseph Asai, the edge out of Texas.
That's the Danielle Hunter trade.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter. There it is.
They call up and say, hey, we'll take another stud for a first-round pick, and then just go replace him.
That's a good trade, yeah. That's a very good trade. The two, say, Canadian teams trading to get some replacements in-house to help with the pass rushing that they're going to need.
Yeah.
Drop some cap space, too. I like that. 31, Kansas City Chiefs. Tevin Jenkins, tackle out of Oklahoma State.
He's another one that's been climbing up my boards.
You got to replace the offensive lineman that you just randomly decided to leave.
Yeah.
Out there for everybody else. So
now I will say, don't count out one or both of them coming back for cheaper.
I also agree. I can definitely get on board with that. Especially when the market starts dying down a little bit.
Yeah.
Number 32, my Bucks. God, I'm taking Jay Tufele, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, something like that.
Defensive tackle out of USC. Out of all the defensive tackles that I do like Barnmore, and then it's kind of a drop after that. But
yeah,
he is the better one out there, in my opinion. I know there's a couple people at Bucks Report that have Mixon and the other guy pretty high.
Davion Nixon I went back and forth with him and Tufele here.
I've said before, the only reason I don't want to put Nixon in the first round is just because of that, say, off-field issues and locker room personality.
Yeah.
But I have been persuaded otherwise before. And then second round, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to go to the site to check that out. Some of the top three bigger ones just popping out of here quickly for, say, dynasty purposes. Cincinnati getting a slot receiver. That's a good one. Kyle Trask falling to the Bears. Sit that on your bench and suck it. The Steelers getting Trey Sermon. If that's a starter week 1, that's a steal there.
I would think so.
Oh, yeah. And then Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting Kellen Mond. You're gonna have to let him be in the free agency wire for a while, and then just try to pick him up the day that he gets the starting job, guys. Because he's been on the taxi squad for a long time.
Yeah.
And then just quickly through mine, I got the Cardinals at 16 getting their Patrick Peterson replacement with a Patrick Surtain, the only thing certain from Alabama, number 16. 17, Jason Oweh. I even put in here, people would be like, "Oh, hey, whoa! You really think that they would go over and get this guy instead?"
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, really?
Yeah,
that one?
Because they always fuck up. They always pick a name that you don't think is going to happen. So I think it's going to happen again. Dolphins at 18, Christian Barnmore. This is where I think the Dolphins have always had success when they have a pretty good defensive tackle up the middle. And I think that's where they kind of look for it.
I saw that one. I was like, yeah, okay.
What was it? Cameron Wake and another guy from back in the day.
Well, they had Wake and Sue together.
Yeah, and there was a guy before that too who was kind of Jason Taylor
was more like early to mid 2000s.
Yeah, there was another one too. I'll have to remember that one. Washington football team, Rondale Moore.
They had Mario Williams.
There it is, Mario Williams. There we go. Rondale Moore, wide receiver out of Purdue.
I like that one a lot.
Flex. I wrote that up. Flex.
And you can play him.
Flex, guys. Bears, Elijah Vera Tucker, just assuring up that offensive line. Colts go with Koromawa.
I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I that's the first line I put here in my write-up. As Thorny from Super Troopers once said, "Mother of God."
Yeah.
That just allows Demaryius Thomas to just eat, man. Oh, good lord.
Darius Leonard and Bobby Okereke, that's wow. And they're young. They're still learning.
Mm-hmm. And let them all learn together.
Yeah.
22, Aziz Ojulari, edge out of Georgia. Just they got to get some defensive guys, and I think that's where they're going to kind of look.
Man, him and Bud Dupree.
Yes, sir. Cheaper Bud Dupree.
Wow. Yeah.
New York Jets, 23, Javonte Williams. So I've been watching tape on this guy. I've been listening to what a few people have said, and I'm hearing what you guys say. He's a hell of a talent here, guys. He can deke. He can deke, and he's gonna be one hell of a player. I mean, when you look at PFF.com and you look at his stats every year and how they've kind of climbed, like, I mean,
yeah,
Michael Carter didn't have a bad year either, but like Javonte just really stole the show.
Man, how about North Carolina having 2 running backs that are gonna go early?
Right?
Like,
yeah, the last time that happened, I think it was Georgia. They had Sony Michel and Nick Chubb, and the Patriots obviously picked the wrong one.
Yeah.
So in this one, guys, Dynasty, major ramifications if this happens. Javonte Williams would
right off the bat start, yeah,
right off the bat. And if you're not going for Kyle Pitts number 1, you're going for this guy for sure. Pittsburgh Steelers, J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. Just replacing all the guys that left. It's pretty simple there. My favorite one that I did back at the back here, besides number 26, is Asante Samuel, cornerback out of Florida State. This guy, man, Jalen Ramsey, written all over this kid when he goes to Jacksonville. And then Cleveland Browns getting Gregory Rousseau out of Miami. You want to talk about destruction? You think Washington football team's defensive line was good? This instantly puts them over the top.
Yeah.
Instantly.
This could win them the AFC, let alone the AFC North.
Yeah, all offensive linemen are going to have a freaking problem.
You're not going to sleep the night before if you're a tackle.
Not even close.
Oh.
Number 27, Baltimore Ravens get a wide receiver. Even though they just signed Sammy Watkins, they're obviously got to get another one in there.
This is your number 1 right here.
Yeah. Rashad Bateman, wide receiver out of Minnesota. I said be scared about the plug and play just because of Lamar runs a lot, and there's this talk of the locker room with Lamar stuff, which I don't want to get into until it's nothing bad, obviously, but I don't want to get into it until I find out more. But be careful with the Ravens going forward here, guys. Number 28, New Orleans Saints, Kadarius Toney. Oh, robbing the back here, going undefeated next year, and I will have none of it. Fuck the Saints. That's just you want to talk about everyone's going to be covering Michael Thomas, and this guy's just going to run over the damn field. Jameis Winston will actually look like a first-round pick, first overall pick.
Yeah.
Number 29, Green Bay Packers, Jalen Phillips, edge rusher out of Miami. Yeah. They just need a little bit more help on that defensive side. Obviously, get some wide receiver help or something like that, but also
offensive lineman or 2 as well.
Yep. But letting some of these young guys also in the wide receivers here learn is going to be one of the better things to do, because Rodgers has proven that he can do it. He can do it with nobody. My big one, number 30, Buffalo Bills, Najee Harris. Call it. Oh my God. You want to, hey, I'll trade everything for number 1 pick. I don't even care at this point. I got the number 3 and I got the number 4. I'll get the number 1. I don't care. I do not care. If Najee Harris goes to the Buffalo Bills, I want him for 5 years. I want Derrick Henry 2.0 with Josh Allen tearing up that AFC North division. East. Thank you. I swore way too many times in my write-up on this one. Hello, what is this? The fucking Bills? On the fucking Bills. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And then I got 2 trades here at the end before we wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Number 31, I got the Miami Dolphins trading back into the first round with the Kansas City Chiefs to grab Travis Etienne, not to be outdone by the Buffalo Bills in their own division. The running back out of Clemson, sending a boatload of, second and 5th and 6th round picks just to make it work. And then I got the Buccaneers not picking at number 32. I actually have them trading with who I originally had, the San Francisco 49ers. That's not obviously going to happen now. They're not going to draft 2 quarterbacks and trade for them. The Denver Broncos come in getting that fifth-year option on a quarterback in Jamie Newman. And the big selling point in this, the biggest selling point in this, guys, is the Buccaneers would get a 2023 first-round pick. And I've said it before, if the Buccaneers are going to start trading picks, it's going to be so that when Brady retires, which is obviously inevitable in about 2 or 3, or say 3 to 4 years, you know, you're going to need to start building a team because the contracts are going to start really, really hurting the team.
You're going to have to draft well. You're not going to be able to pay anybody.
Exactly. So you're going to have to get those young guys in. Making sure that we got those picks later on is going to be huge. Couple last major, say, dynasty ramifications in the later rounds. If New England does pick up Davis Mills and lets him sit, that's your Andrew Luck going to the Patriots.
I like that.
Yeah, just let it sit and let it just let it burn. I also have Chicago getting Kyle Trask. Let it sit on your taxi squad. Elijah Moore going to the Miami Dolphins was another big one I had in the second round. Even though you already got Jamar Chase on there, just loaded up with wide receivers.
You can't have too many weapons.
Nope. And if Michael Carter does fall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 64 and they decide to pull the trigger on that, I ain't going to be mad. I will take Nick Chubb 2.0 on that. So we are going to go to our fans in the comments.
Where did we finish off here?
Oh, I know where we were. I'll have to be quick.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay.
The trade comes from a mock draft. Okay.
Yep. He's got the mock drafts, I think, right there. Number 3, Trey Lance, 100%. Trey Lance will end up most successful quarterback in this class, Mario. And I've said it before, too. I have said it before, too. It's not a far-off shot to say that, Johnny. I've agreed with you. I've heard you.
Loaded.
I've heard
all they
him,
need is a quarterback.
I've heard him take the shots on a few other networks and stuff like that, and I've agreed with him. And that's where it is. He's Dante Culpepper, Donovan McNabb style, but
I like that.
Yeah, and his feet is just like a slower version than Lamar and Michael Vick. The kid is going to be something. I see your Parsons and raised you with David Nixon at 32, so that's where we got that comment from earlier. My defensive tackle will eat your linebacker. The only pick in the draft who could win a starting job on the Bucs would be the Pitts. Man, could you imagine if the Bucs just said, "Screw it, we'll just give you
everything to move up to get
first and seventh overall, like first and seventh round picks, like first through seventh round picks. We'll give you Kyle Pitts. Give us Kyle
the Ricky Williams trade for Kyle Pitts.
That would be great. I would take Slater over Sewell every day. I remember him saying that. Slater can play center. That's right.
Yeah, 5-position versatility. He can play all 5 spots.
Slater plays tackle a lot bigger than he is. I had a hard time putting him so high because of his size, but after going over tape on him in position, I'm a fan.
I was the same way.
Mm-hmm. Pitts is truly a generational player. I agree. Let's just hope he goes to the right team. Mac Jones is a product. We talked about that earlier as well. Najee reminds me of Trent Richardson. I'm getting that comparison. I get it. I get it. But I mean, hey, Trent Richardson helped the Saskatchewan Roughriders kick ass up here. So
Najee Harris in the CFL.
Yeah. Oh, and the XFL. CFL merger. I like Quiddy Pay and Trey McKitty both on one of them cat teams. Yeah. Okay. Kyle Yacy, if Barkley isn't injured, that's true. Yet. Yeah, that was going back to an Atlanta comment I had made earlier. Tristan Sebastian, Alex Loosemore, the Trojans jersey is fire in the couch. #represent.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Farley had one season, then out last year and coming off of back surgery now. Here's my pick to fall out of the first round. Interesting.
I don't see how you can let the talent fall that far, though.
That's the thing. I
think many teams need corners right now.
Someone would trade into the first round, I think.
Yeah.
New England, I think, takes Jones. I know you were looking at Alex's mock draft there, and you liked that one. Oh, the Cardinals are going to be fire this season. That shout out to Chris, our big.
I mean, we said the same last year, so it's wait and see for me. And see.
Episode 1 of this season, guys. I took ownership. I was saying the Cardinals were going to be hella good last year. I was wrong. I've heard the Jets have taken ATN since these mock drafts began this year. It does make sense. It does.
They're taking a running back with that pick. I don't see any way they don't. They loaded up on receiver. made some good defensive moves. It's got to be a running back.
And if you're taking Zach Wilson, I don't think it's going to be Najee Harris anymore. I think it has to be a Travis Etienne or Javonte Williams type.
Yeah,
it has to be. What Nixon's going to do to the Bucs locker room? Come on, Andrew, you got to be kidding. Believe me, I get it. But then out of the names that you got there, obviously Shaq and Vita Vea are going to be there for a while, right? But when JPP and Sue are gone, and those guys smack some around. I get it. But what if and I've always said before too, if you're gonna not say ruin the integrity of the game, but if you're gonna be drawing attention to yourself outside of the game, I don't want that in my locker room unless your talent literally exceeds what other people could do at that position. That's just what I've said. So that's why, like, if Nixon was there in the third, you take him and you just call it a day. It's just like what the Chiefs did last year with I know his last name was Gay, and then there was another guy who had some off-field issues. I think it was their linebacker or something like that, or cornerback. So, that talent falls for teams like us, and I get it if Nixon's there. It's not a bad pick, Johnny. It's not. Chase Young is a fucking stud. Is a good quarterback. Yep.
To me, I think you've got a good one for this year. I like Fitzpatrick in that offense. I really do.
Yeah.
And plus, I've seen it everywhere. He's been contemplating retirement. Everyone's got to get him into this Pro Bowl so he can be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fuck, that would be fire if Najee went, right?
I just don't see him falling there. I love that pick, but I don't.
I know.
You got to trade up to get him.
I know. And imagine if they did, though.
Oh. Man,
I just really want I think there's a couple places that I really want Najee to go to.
Pittsburgh.
One is Buffalo. One is Pittsburgh for sure. And what was the other one I was thinking of the other day that would just absolutely make sense? Oh, it was the Seahawks. If he was on the Seahawks, yeah. Oh man, but they got Carson, and I was like, well, that's out the window.
Yeah.
Najee is Trent Richardson 2.0. All right.
On that.
Marvin Jensen, Wirfs can handle him. You're not wrong either, Johnny. that offensive line, it's got some the Bucs line is nasty, and that's one of the reasons why I think that if they're going to go with any offensive lineman this year, they might grab like the nastiest one possible. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. Went a little over than we thought, which is totally fine. I'm not getting death glares from the fiance just yet, so we're all good here. Shout out to all the fans for tuning in for this. We had some great comments throughout.
Really,
I'm not saying surprised, but like, this is awesome, guys. The show is growing.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want the show to grow. I want restrictions obviously to be gone so we can start doing shows in other places. But I do love the interactions. We always will get to the interactions and stuff like that. It's one thing I learned from Peter Blake. I will give you a shout out for this. Is you always interact with the comments if you can get to the comments. So I always appreciate the comments, guys. The shares, the likes, the follows, the subscriptions, everything. Last thing, this giveaway, the NSD North Sports Dynasty Draft Bracket NFL Edition. So this is where everybody's got their March Madness brackets. We are going to do an NFL Draft Edition. So we are going to have a sheet that will be available on our website. You grab that sheet, you fill it out on your phone, however which way that you can. We'll have the PDF if you want to do it that way too. I'll make sure I have that all available.
Yeah.
And we'll send it to you, or you grab it, you send it back to us with your picks. If you want to make trades, you don't have to tell us the intangibles unless you're trading within the first round of these picks. Yeah. But basically what you do is you tell us what team is picking, what player, this, that, and everything else. If you get the most points, you're going to win these jerseys that we're going to have. You're going to win some prizes that day. We're going to be live for the draft. I promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be here for the first round. We may go live during or after the second and third round, especially if there's any major picks that happen. And then I'm probably going to get my ass out of here with the fam jam for a couple of days. That's why we'll be doing them obviously early for the draft and stuff like that.
Yeah.
but that's when the next giveaways are going to happen. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you check out the site. Make sure you stay tuned and follow us on Twitter, on Facebook. Alex, where can they find you?
Alex Loosemore on Facebook, at Loosemore65 on Twitter.
Yeah. And North Sports Dynasty's very own new co-host, the Lion of the North. I'm basically the Buck of the North. I am the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan of Canada. And if anybody out there in Canada wants to try me, you can come aboard and try.
I will say
me.
I don't know very many. So.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them come out now, though.
Yeah, I know, right? But, and you
like
guys out there, if you think you're a true Lions fan,
come at me.
Come at him, okay?
Yeah.
This is a show where we love competition. This is one of the reasons why he is my co-host now. And it looks like we do have. Oh, let me go here quick. 1, 2, 3. Great show, guys. Really fun. Thank you very much, Johnny Dean. Awesome show. Angie, don't forget to catch What's Cooking in the South with Rick Hughes tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That would be 6:30 our time, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Hughes is the guy at Bucks Report, and he does a great job. I do love that show. You both aren't even north side. Yeah, I'm not moving to Edmonton, dude. I moved out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. I'm not moving to north side Edmonton. What is wrong with you?
I left the north side.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, guys. Thank you again. Alex, as always, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All of our fans, we will be back next weekend for another show, episode 3. Follow us on all social media platforms. Stay tuned for the 2-minute update video. That'll happen probably tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you again to none of our sponsors. We'll get there. But thank you all to our fans. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Love you all. North Sports Dynasty signing out. We'll talk to you soon.